Hey everyone. Today I'm going to show you one way to reduce the amount of data that advertisers are able to collect about what you do online. I've showed you in previous videos how to reduce the targeted advertising that you see on Instagram or Facebook or other platforms, and this is good for when you're on those specific platforms to help reduce the amount of data they collect on you to share with advertisers. But when you're just browsing around the internet on different websites, there are still companies that are tracking what you're doing online. And so I want to show you one way to help reduce generally the amount of data that advertisers can collect on you. So what I'm going to show you today is called Your Online Choices. And what this is basically a website where you have the ability to turn off companies' ability to track what you're doing online. And the result of that is that you will see fewer targeted ads online. So what I would recommend to you is that you give it a try, and if you notice a huge difference and you, for one reason or another, want more targeted ads back, you can always go back and turn this back on. But if you don't notice a difference, you're sort of simultaneously reducing the amount of data that some of these advertisers can collect on you. So first, go to youronlinechoices.com and give the website a bit of time to load, because what it's doing is looking through your browser and trying to understand what companies are tracking what you're doing online. Then you can see some of these companies that are tracking you online. Most of them you probably haven't heard of. I know, for example, Quantcast is a ad tech company that I'm more familiar with. You know, Salesforce is a common, more well-known company. Tapad is an ad tech company. Verizon Media, people in the US will be familiar with Verizon, and, many, many more. So what these little icons beside each company mean is that if it's gray, the company has not previously delivered interest-based ads on whatever browser you're using, but in the future they may do if you allow them to. The green is that the company is collecting and using data which might be used to deliver ads that are customized to whatever your interests are or whatever they think your interests are. And red is that the company is not collecting data that can be used to deliver ads customized to whatever they think your interests are. And then the yellow is that they're unable to retrieve the status. So for me, there are lots of yellows, but nonetheless, what you can do, despite whatever your different statuses are, is you can turn them all off. So what that means is that if a company is tracking you, if a company hasn't yet but might, you can just say no to all of them by clicking the red box, turn off all companies, and give it a little time to adjust. It might require a bit of time to adjust, depending on how many companies are listed on your profile. While I am waiting for mine to turn this off, which is actually taking quite a bit longer than I thought, I wanted to show you that you can actually see more information about some of these companies that you might find interesting. So, for example, Canarics there's a green tick here, meaning that they are using tracking what I'm doing online and using that data for advertising. So I just clicked on that, and it actually gives you a little description of the company. So Canarics is, a marketing technology, and they work with the world's leading brands, ad agencies, and media companies. Canarics deepens the way its customers engage its end users via real-time optimization of personalized marketing communication to the right audience at the right moment. Who knows what any of that jargon means, but it's an ad tech company looking at what people are doing online and then serving them ads based on that activity. Tapad I know is an ad tech company. I've seen them before, but it's so funny because in certain places in the world there's really strong privacy laws, and I know that Tapad has come under pressure because of their business model is people say in violation of some of the privacy laws, and now they have described themselves as a privacy safe approach to basically collect people's information and target ads at them. Quite interesting. Now, I've been trying to opt out now of this for about 10 minutes, so I'm going to let it go for a little bit longer, and I will check back in once there's been some progress made. Okay, so I haven't had any more luck, but what I want to show you is that I think the reason for that is because it's just sort of stuck in this spiral of trying to reconnect with these companies. If you can see, the yellow is there, which means they can't connect, and it's just spiraling, trying to reconnect. But what you can do is, if you see things like this, which has a gray circle, which means that the company hasn't previously targeted you, but might in the future, you can just manually toggle them off, and it will switch the ones that it can connect to off. Unfortunately, it is a manual thing, so it can take a bit longer than just the bulk opt-out. That's interesting. Okay, so I'm just going to turn, what is this? I'm just going to turn all of these off. One other thing I wanted to say while I do this is that if you have your browser set to like clear cookies when you close it, it will undo all of this work. So by default, your browser doesn't necessarily clear the cookies when you close it, so you can always... Why can't I turn this one off? That's weird. I'll have to figure out what the deal is there. But I wanted to say that if you're using Firefox, you can check if your browser will delete the cookies when you completely quit the browser by going up to Firefox and clicking on Preferences, and then Privacy and Security, scrolling down, and you can see here that my browser is set to delete cookies and site data when Firefox is closed. Yours might have this unticked, which means it won't do that. So if this is ticked in your browser, what that means is that each time you reopen your browser, so each time you quit Firefox completely and then reopen the browser, these will be reset, unfortunately. Because what makes these advertisers understand that they shouldn't track you is that a cookie that says as much is put into your browser. So if you don't quit your browser or you don't delete your cookies, these settings will likely remain. But I would say that it is good practice to delete your cookies once in a while, because other advertisers embed cookies on your browser and track you that way. So it's kind of a balance. So I had hoped this would be a more straightforward sort of tutorial for you. As with everything in sort of trying to opt out of advertisers tracking you, it's always a bit more complicated than it seems at first. But I do hope this will help you in a small way reduce the amount of data that advertisers can collect about you. Everyone wants to feel in control of their digital privacy, but it's overwhelming to know where to begin. Our simple privacy online course makes comprehensive digital privacy super simple. After taking the course, you'll feel confident that you're in control of your and your family's data privacy. To sign up for the Simple Online Privacy course, click the link in the description or in our profile. As the future becomes even more digital, don't let your data privacy disappear. Join the course today.